So hello everybody, it's Victoria here from Business Station. We're here today to talk to you about how to make things a little bit easier for your business and to just take a little bit of the overwhelm out of creating your content all the time. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Take that away. So taking the stress out of creating new content all the time. I'm going to present in Canva today. So sometimes it really is just really easy to get overwhelmed with trying to come up with new ideas all of the time. I understand this myself. I have to do my own social media for my other business. And every now and then, even with the calendars I've created and with the content ideas I know I can have, sometimes I have a bit of a brain meltdown and I run out of ideas. So, and we can get a little bit overwhelmed with how much we need to do with the marketing for our business and all the other hats that we have to have for our business. So I'm here today to try and just give you a few ideas on where you can find your content and just take a little bit of overwhelm out of that for you. So we're going to be talking about repurposing our content today. So something actually came up this morning, which was new, that is going to be helping us today. I try to keep up with the latest information for you so I can share it, and I'll be sharing that with you today as well. So we want to be repurposing. We don't want to be stealing other people's ideas. And we want to be repurposing our content that is actually useful. We don't want to be boring our customers at all. So let's repurpose with purpose and make our lives easier. So what actually is repurposing your content? So it's stuff that you've already created. Perhaps you've made a blog, perhaps you've made a YouTube video, perhaps you've got an ebook, and it's actually repurposing it and altering it. So it's either repurposing your own content or it's repurposing other people's. Now, why do we want to do this? It saves you so much time. So you've already done all of the hard work. You've already gone into your analytics. You've found what works. You've done some market research. You know what your customers want, and then all that hard work is already done. So that's fabulous. You could actually reach another whole new audience if you've already created something and you can share that again. So another benefit of repurposing that content is it boosts your search engine optimization. So it boosts your SEO. Repurposing content will allow you to target the same keywords over and over and over. And that teaches the Google spiders, the Google bots, it teaches them what your brand is all about. And it makes it easier for other people to find your content. So, who am I to advise you on what to do? I have been teaching small business owners for quite a number of years, but I've also practiced what I preach. Like I said, I own a skincare company at the moment. I'm doing my own marketing for that. I'm sitting down, I'm in front of the computer, exactly the same as you, thinking, what on earth am I going to post today that's going to be interesting? I have owned bricks and mortar stores and sold them. I've owned eCommerce stores and sold them. And I currently sell on my own websites and on Amazon in the US and Australia, and moving into Singapore as well. And I'm also a board member of the Bachelor Chamber of Commerce. So I'm very, very passionate about small business and helping people in small business. I am a Shopify and Facebook partner. I've got my Bachelor of Teaching, which is why I love coming on here and giving educational information for you, and Certificate for a Small Business. And I'm a certified e-commerce specialist. But most of all, I'm a mum to 2 teenagers. So as small business owners, we hear all the time that we just need to create content every day, and it really can get overwhelming. So I've got a workshop on where to find that content, so you don't need to do that. So that's another workshop that you can look on YouTube, look at Business Station YouTube channel, and you can find that in there as well. And I do these workshops live, and and offline as well. But this workshop is how to actually reuse the content. So reuse the content that other people have already created or repurposing your own. So we don't need to be coming up with new content all the time. Our content doesn't actually get shown to every single person anyway. So it's most likely that they might not have even seen it. They might not have even taken a huge amount of notice, and that's a little bit harsh perhaps, but they're very quickly thumb scrolling through our content. They might not have taken a massive amount of notice for it, and that's okay. And then it also saves you time. So it saves you time doing your keyword research, your hashtag research, and creating the graphic and the content. So it saves you loads and loads of time. You're also reinforcing your brand's messaging if you repurpose that content. So people are seeing it over and over, and they're starting to get that awareness, that cognition in their mind that those colors, those fonts, that brand equals you. And then that builds that beautiful trust connection in their brains. And it gives you the opportunity to squeeze as much value out of the content that you've spent time creating, and you will get then a better return on your invested time creating it. And you can reach a different audience by posting the same content onto a different platform. So I encourage you to first start with your content. So starting with your content, going into Facebook, having a look at your analytics and seeing what your customers really, really like. What have they commented on? What have they saved? What have they shared? And then try to get some insights into that. What do your people really like? And then how can you start to recreate that? So you go into Facebook, into the insights, and then into Instagram, you can go into insights here. So we can use that same piece of content and resize it for other platforms and show it there. So even if it's exactly the same that you've posted on Facebook and Instagram, you could possibly pop that over into Pinterest, or you could pop that over into TikTok. So there's quite a few different options. You could even, if it's a short form video, you can pop it into a YouTube channel. You could even put that on to make it into a blog. If it's an extended series, you could make that into a blog and put that onto your website also. So have a look at the downloadable assets or the giveaways. Can you do these again in the same format? And can you repurpose them? So have you ever made a checklist? Have you ever made a step-by-step process for people? Have you ever made like a tips downloadable that somebody can give you? And even if you haven't made any of these, what do you constantly give your customers? Is even if it's something that you constantly saying to them, is there something that you can put into a downloadable for them? And then you can do lots and lots of things with those. So you can make them into downloadables, and then you can tweak them. You could extend them. You could make those into videos. Let's have a look at this one, Cafe Press, Raffle Press, sorry. I wanted to show you this one because it actually gives you loads and loads of examples of things that you can give away. So when we're talking about these, and so there's 15 Instagram giveaway examples to have a look at. When we're looking at these, make sure that it's very similar to your niche. So what would your customers like? So just making sure that you're not just giving away, you're not giving away an iPad just for the sake of it, because people might really, really want an iPad, but they're not going to become customers after you've given something away. So thinking very carefully about your niche and thinking about what do your customers actually want, and then what would they possibly want again and again and again. So if you're using this to get more customers, thinking about how you can then remarket to them, and are they the customers that you really, really want? Okay, or you could think about doing it the other way around. So creating a lead magnet of something that you've already got. So you might have already created a sheet, a checklist, a guide, a list of resources. So, you know, either swapping it, creating it, or the other way around. So you can turn a blog into an ebook or a guide, or vice versa. Like this is what I was saying, you can turn things around. So you might have already written a bunch of valuable tips and techniques into your social media. You could collate all of them and turn them into an ebook or a downloadable guide. Or you could even turn that into like a mini video course. So these video courses, or anything like any sort of course, is great. You can automate it into an email system, and people can get the emails with the little, you know, tips each week. And that's a fabulous way of building your email list. Now, the reason why we want to build an email list is because if social media decides to stop, and it's their business, they can do whatever they like. You could lose everything that you have put on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media platform you're using. And so we try to give our customers something that they need to give their email, so that then we still got an asset that we can market to. Now, with the blog posts, you could, like I was saying, you could you could actually create the ebook from the blog posts, or the other way around. So you could get an ebook of your own, and then you can separate that out into lots of different blogs or posts. So do you see, it's the same piece of content, but we're just recreating it and we're tweaking it into lots of different forms. So if you don't have an ebook, I'll show you where you can get one. Now, with an ebook, you can change that into lots of different blog posts. You could turn them into lots of different videos. You could turn them into a podcast, a series of emails, or a course. So I'll show you this PLR store if you haven't seen this already. So this is private label rights store. Excuse me. So you can go into here and you can type in your niche. So if you were into pet care, you could click on this one. Now this is $5.99. You then buy this ebook and you have the master resale rights for it. Please keep in mind that anyone can buy these ebooks, okay? So the content inside it, you can say, this is my ebook, and you have the rights to resell it, but a lot of other people can as well. And so what I encourage you to do with these is to buy the ebook. It's cheap, $5.99, fabulous. That may be in US dollars. But buy the ebook and then pop it into Canva and change the PDF, change the cover, and change some of the wording in there to suit your brand. And then it's a lot, you know, it suits your customers a lot more. So this is where you can go to get these ebooks. And then, like I said, you can change these ebooks into a series of blogs or videos, or use it for your ideas for content creation on your social media. Loads of different things that you can do with that. The other thing that you can do is go to popular blogs, and people say to me, well, how do I know what a popular blog is? How do I find that out? We go to a place called BuzzSumo. And we were just talking about dogs, so let's put that in there. And this tells us all of the things that people are interested in looking at. And I don't encourage you to copy these exactly, but just use them for inspiration. Another thing that you can do with this is that you can make a curated blog. So you can say, these are the most popular blogs out at the moment on dogs, this one here, and give a link. This one here, give a link. This one here, give a link. And so you know that these blogs or these are very, very, people really like them. Like, look at that. That's an amazing share on Pinterest. So you already know that it's interesting for those people. So if you were on Pinterest, you could say, great, have a look at this, and you could collate those 3 into a blog, and you can say these are really interesting. You might want to have a look at these. So you're still acknowledging the source that it is coming from, but you're sharing this information with your people, and they know that you know that they're interested in this already because it's been proven on here. Another one is Buzzfeed. Now, Buzzfeed actually does this already. They collate a whole bunch of different blogs and links and puts them in their information already. So there's an interesting one if you're in an Australian brand. Loads of different information in here. Now, do you see in here, they're actually sharing other people's information. That's somebody else's information. This is somebody else's information. So they've just actually collated a whole bunch of other people's content and they've put it into here as a blog. So I just wanted to show you that one, Buzzfeed. Sometimes it's a little bit dodgy, so be a bit careful what you're looking at. But Buzzfeed is a great one to see how people actually use that collated content in a blog. Buzzfeed is a fabulous place to go to if your customers are really into taking quizzes and doing sort of games and things online. Okay, so you can create a different type of image or graphic from one of your popular pieces as well. So do you see here in this little video, I've got a square, so that's Instagram, and then I go to resize in Canva. And you see all of the different types of graphics I can resize that into. So if you have created a graphic on for Facebook and Instagram, which is square, then we can go into this resize and we can just resize that for loads and loads of different things. So every time I do my social media for my skincare brand, I make a blog once a week. On a Saturday morning, I make the blog cover. That blog cover gets turned into a social media post. I then resize that into a Pinterest post. So I've got 3 different types of graphics for the one piece. Actually, probably 4 because I've put it on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so if you have made a webinar, if you've got a Facebook video, if you've got an intro video from your website, IGTV is going away, but some people might still have it. Why don't you pop that onto YouTube? Some people think, oh my goodness, that's just a platform that I very rarely think of using. YouTube is a fabulous way because Google owns YouTube and we can use it as a really, really great search engine, making sure that in your description you've got a link back to your website or a link back to your social media, wherever you want people to go and see you. And then you can actually cut that webinar into smaller pieces as well. So shorts in YouTube works very well at the moment. All of these are competing with TikTok. So if you create, if you've got a blog perhaps, or if you had an ebook, created a blog, and then you created some very short form video, you can pop this on all of these different platforms. Short form videos work better than anything else at the moment because they are all competing with TikTok, and TikTok is short form video. And then you can even screenshot parts of your presentation, and you can use those as still images on your Instagram and Facebook. Now, I just wanted to stop here because right at the beginning, I said that there was a new feature that was coming out. I haven't put this in this webinar because it is very, very new. And I created this webinar last week. So if you go into your Instagram And if you go into your stories, you now have the ability, if you go into your Instagram, this is how new it is. I need to get it into my head. If you go into your Instagram, you've already made a story and put it into your highlights. You can turn your highlights into a reel, and it automatically turns it into a reel. There's a little 3 buttons on the bottom right, and you can turn your stories from your highlights into a reel. You don't have to recreate it. So it's a fabulously easy way of creating a reel. I just did it while I was lying in bed this morning. It was so easy to do, and I've got instantly a piece of content that I can put in onto my social media. Okay, so repost your interesting content onto your Pinterest boards. Not many people, really think about going into Pinterest and doing these things. You've already created the content for your social media. You've already created the video. Why not pop it onto Pinterest as well? It could be a whole new demographic for you. So think about this. You've created a 3-minute video, 3 minutes of having a chat about your product or your service. That can be, you could put it into Rev, and they can transcribe it for you. That then goes, and you can make that into a blog. So that 3-minute video, pop it into Rev, they transcribe it, and you can create that into a blog. That can also be into your newsletter. And if you're podcasting, that can be into your podcast as well. So do you see how I'm trying to explain to you that you really only need to start with one piece of content? But we need to make sure that piece of content is really interesting, because if you're going to be sharing it on all of these different platforms, it does need to be very interesting for your customers to have a look at and see. Okay, so you could also put your social media thread across the bottom of your website, so that every time you update your social media, I'm going to show you some Instagram ones. Every time you update your Instagram, it updates the website as well. So another great way of repurposing your content that it's automated. You don't even need to do anything with it. So I'm not affiliated with any of these brands. I'm just showing you, this is a beautiful website of a customer of mine who's now a friend, and I'm scrolling all the way down to the bottom of her website. And you'll see here, this is her Instagram feed. So every single time she updates on her Instagram, it updates here as well. So repurposing the content that you are sharing on your Instagram and repurposing it automatically onto the bottom of your website. Please make sure that your website still runs quickly when we do that. One of the websites I made actually had to take that off, but with this one, obviously it runs absolutely perfectly. Let's have a look at this one. And you'll see that on loads of websites, it actually looks different, because everybody makes their websites on different platforms. Okay, so see how I've started on Instagram. This is her Instagram feed. I'm not sure who this person is. I just found it and I thought it was quite good. So her aesthetics look very pleasing on Instagram. And so every time she updates her Instagram, it updates on her website, which is just fantastic. Okay, I've just noticed very quickly that my power is going down. I'm just going to fix that. Just one moment. Thank you. My plug had attached itself. Okay, so where were we here? So So leveraging user-generated content, we call this UGC. Now, user-generated content is one of the most powerful pieces of content that you can get, because it's not you telling your customers how great your content is, it's your customers telling your customers how great the content is. So if we can try and reverse engineer getting user-generated content, it's fantastic for your business. It's so great for your business. Now, Wallpaper from the 70s, I'm not affiliated with them at all. I don't even know the people that own it, but they do a very, very cool thing that I think would be really, really great if you can put it into your business. So they launched a social media content contest. So and they need to use, people need to use the company's official hashtags. Now, people don't own hashtags, but they've used this particular hashtag. So every time someone takes a photo of their product, they use that hashtag, and then they can go into those hashtags and they can see everybody who's using that hashtag in Instagram, and then they can repurpose that onto their own platforms. So with these guys, they sell wallpaper. Now that just may sound incredibly boring, and this is why I love this example, because wallpaper, you know, that's hard to make interesting sometimes, but what they've done is they do have very cool wallpaper, but they might not get into every single person's place to take a photo of it. So they've figured out a way of doing this. They've created a social media content, and once a month, every 3 months, the winner is entitled to a full reimbursement of the purchase price. And all they need to do is put a picture onto Instagram of the wallpaper that they've used, and then it goes onto their website feed. So you can see here that they're giving that cash back, but they have so many people uploading the wallpaper once it's actually done. So you can see this was only 18 hours ago, 19 hours ago, this was only a day ago, and they get beautiful, beautiful pictures for their Instagram of all of the amazing things that the people are doing in the places, without them having to go in there and create it themselves. So it's just really great. It's a really great example to show you how you could possibly try to get that user-generated content. So you just see very, very powerful source of marketing. Word of mouth marketing is always going to be your best form of marketing. It builds trust, it builds social proof, and it builds awareness of your business. So a massive bonus, they create a whole bunch of content for you. I've just got someone in the chat. How do you know that they get the content? How do they get that content onto their website? So it's a app that you put on, and the information comes directly from Instagram over into their website. So that's all set up through the website. Okay, so ask yourself this. Sorry, just oh, no worries. My pleasure. Ask yourself this: which are you more likely to respond positively to? A photo created by the brand you follow, or the one that is shared by a person that you know and trust? You usually believe the person that you know and trust over the brand, especially if you don't personally know the brand. So I've just given you examples. I've created a whole other webinar on this, but I wanted to give you some examples in here. So 5 ways of getting that user-generated content. So let's just already have a look at what you've already got. These are messages that you may have received. Have you already got Google reviews, TripAdvisor reviews? Have you already got texts? Start collating those and then asking them if you can use those on your social media, and post those as testimonials, post those as reviews. Another great way of doing that is to post them as a testimonial blog, because that blog constantly gets updated, and Google loves it when you update your blogs. that constantly gets updated as you get new testimonials and reviews coming in. So a fabulous way of doing that. And you haven't created that content, you're just receiving that content, which is fabulous. You can also create branded hashtags. And like I said, you don't own hashtags, but I don't suggest using a hashtag Nike or hashtag, I don't know, Kylie Minogue or something like that. You know, you just don't use a hashtag that you know you're going to get in trouble for, but trying to create a hashtag that is relevant to your business, usually your business name. And then they can, every time somebody, they've got it in here, again, I don't know these people, just a really great example. They've got hashtag I'm wearing RI. And so every time you'll see here, somebody's posted a photo of their jackets. They're saying they hashtag it I'm wearing RI, and which is River Island, and they can use that on a social media feed. So absolutely an easy, great way of getting user-generated content. Now, another great way is to promote a strong call to action in key locations. So you're giving your customers a very clear call to action on how to create their content for you. A lot of people don't know how to help you out, but they really want to. So you might actually pop on Instagram, and it might be in your bio, or you can think of it in the photo caption on your website. You could actually say, like, you know, tag us by hashtag this, this, and this, and really teaching your customers how you want them to do that. So a restaurant table that you're seated at, you could put it in the product packaging on the insert card, which is what we've done. You can put it into a blog, and you can put it throughout your catalogs, both digital and print. Add signage into your stores. Hashtag SAC style, great. Want to be a style icon? And this is, it just very, very clearly tells them where they can put it and how they do it. Just make it so simple for people. Very, very easy. These are really great. I don't think that we're really using these enough. But these are little, when you're hosting an event, these are little, they're actually quite light. I did see one at Bunnings when they were doing the Vax jab, actually. I don't know if anyone would have used it, but, you know, they've got the little hole in there, and you cut it out, and then you make sure that you've got all of your hashtags along the bottom. So, you know, when people go to events, they like taking photos of themselves, they like taking photos of their friends. Make sure that you have given them a very clear call to action on what to hashtag, so that they're creating all this amazing content for you. If you want to see someone doing this very, very well, have a look at hashtag Airbnb. Just ridiculous amount of content that Airbnb can use for their socials. People taking photos of them on holidays and hashtagging them. When I was doing this, I noticed that weddings did this very, very, very well. If you go to a wedding these days, they'll say, please hashtag, you know, I don't know, Marjorie and Dora. Please hashtag those people, and on your Instagram whenever you're taking a photo, and then they can collate all of those pictures. Now, why don't we do this for business well? This actually stumped me a little bit. Why are we're doing it very, very well on weddings for private situations? Why aren't we doing this very well in businesses? Whenever we go to a bar, why isn't there a hashtag little, you know, stirrer in the cocktail that we're at? Most people will want to take a selfie of that, will want to be there, and your hashtag is in there automatically. Your branding is in there automatically. So just thinking about how you can brand your business, and it can be a service business, it can be a product business. So just thinking about different ways that other people, you can brand it so it's easy for other people to create content for you that you can use in your social media. I recently, it wasn't about 2 years ago, last time I taught an event, and there was an event in Queensland. It was great. And I went into the bathrooms, and they had the hashtag, and it's quite interesting. Whenever you go into bathrooms and mirrors, and this was in a gym recently I went to as well, the hashtag's actually backwards, and you look at it and you say, oh, that looks a bit rough. Why have they done that? It's because when you take a photo of it, it actually comes up the right way. So very, very clever, especially in this new gym that I went to, because people were taking selfies of themselves all the time. So I was having a look around for my marketing research, but they were taking selfies of themselves and it had the hashtag of the gym in it. So easy, fabulous way of branding. They're going to put those pictures onto their own social media. You've already created a beautiful branding for your own business. Loads of places that you can do photo opportunities, photo booths, backdrops, that type of thing. You can get that custom, you can get these custom made as well. So you can get them made in a variety of ways, so many different ways. You can put your hashtag on the back of your car if you've got sort of four-wheel driving industry or something, you know, in the car industry. That's a great idea. If you have, if you do put things on your car, I actually really encourage you to think about how often you clean your car, because if you've got business branding on your car, you want to be shown in the best light, unless it is a four-wheel driving, you know, four-wheel driving business, and it should be muddy then. It should be looking like you're getting out there and having a good time. But like I said, the weddings are doing it very, very well. But I think we could really up our game for our businesses. I have noticed that quite a few different markets these days, they do have these on there, which is awesome. About a year ago, where did I go? The boat show. Boat and camping show, I think it was, and I didn't see a single person advertising their hashtag. So I think we're getting better at it, but I think we can improve. Okay, now influencers. There's actually a few different types of influencers that you can think about. So influencers are the people that show off your products to other people and direct them back to your website. And they don't need to be products, they can be services. They can say, oh my goodness, I just had the most amazing massage, you've got to go to this person. That would be your tribe. So your tribe are the people that you don't pay, you don't often even ask them to. They love you and your brand and your products and your services so much that they shout you from the rooftop at any stage. So that's your tribe. That's the people that have been coming to you for a long, long time, and they tell everybody about you. So when we're thinking about influencers, the first thing I encourage you to do is talk to your tribe. They're the ones that are very, very happy to share your page on social media. They're happy to invite your friends, their friends to your page, and really happy to show, you know, everyone and talk about you. The next ones are gifted products. So this is when you just gift a product or a service and you gift them to an influencer, and you ask that influencer to say how you felt about it. Then they might write a review for you, and they might give you a testimonial. A video testimonial is better than anything else. People are not that keen on doing them, but that would be great if they could do it. So the first thing you've got with your influencers, start with your tribe, start with the people that you've got already. And then you can encourage people to give you a review or a testimonial if you gift them a product or a service. The next one along is the pay per post. So if you're giving your service or your product away to somebody to create content for you, make sure that they have a following that is exactly the same as your niche. So we don't just want to give our products and our services to anybody and pay them to create a post for us if those followers aren't people that are ever going to buy our products anyway. So making sure that you've done your research on the influencer that you're going to pay, and you've made sure that you have seen that they have an engaged following. So if you don't know already, you can buy followers on Instagram and Facebook. You can buy followers on Instagram, I know that. I'm pretty sure you can buy them on Facebook, who knows? Anything's possible, really. But some influencers buy those followers so that they look like they've got loads and loads of followers. They're not real, they're bots, they're robots. So that means that, you know, you're not going to get customers out of that. The way that we can test that is by having a look at the influencers' content and then seeing if they are engaging on the posts and the comments that they get in there. So that means that real people are actually commenting and that influencer is going back and commenting. So it's a bit of a test to see if there's robots in there or not. The next level of influencer is a brand ambassador. So a brand ambassador really is a member of your staff. They are the face of your brand. They are always creating content specifically around your brand, and they may not actually use, they may not be a brand ambassador for anybody else. So that really is an employee when we get to that stage. Okay, so TikTok makes repurposing content, people's content, very, very easy with the duet and stitch feature. Now, I know that Reels has brought out a similar feature as well. And so what we can do is just, there's a video here. And like I said, it doesn't need to be on TikTok. It can be on, I think Reels, yeah, Reels allow us to do this as well. So it's just the duet. So I'll play that again. This is just a very random, I was in a cafe putting this together. So this was a very random person that I found on TikTok. Find the person that resonates with your customers. They've you know, had more than 1 million views already, and then duet those because you know your customers are already interested in that. Now, the other day, last week, I'm just checking so you can get an absolute live update. Let me turn that down. I went viral the other day. I can't, oh goodness, it's not letting me. So I went viral the other day with doing this absolute technique. I did not make the post. I found a post that my people would be very, very interested in, and I created a duet with that. Now, normally I'm looking directly at my phone at the moment. Normally my posts get, I don't know, between, I don't know, 200 and 500 views. The one that I created like this has now got 516.7 thousand views. So you can see how easy it can be to use somebody else's content, create it into yours, and how you can manipulate that to find something that other people really like already, and then sharing it with your people. Okay, you can screenshot Twitter posts, you can copy and paste them into a Canva template, and you can post them on other platforms, just always acknowledging the source. So this is a direct post from Facebook, and I'm acknowledging the source because I've kept that in there. If I wanted to, I could have cropped that, but that would be showing my community that I wrote that, and I didn't. So always keeping the source in there, keep the integrity of your business and acknowledge the source of where it has come from. Now, I want you to have a little think about this. You don't have to do this, but just have a think about it. We've got one idea, okay? We've got one idea, and then we're going to create, you know, say if we've got an idea on how to make a TikTok, I could say that's one idea. This is 5 ways of creating a TikTok. All right, now we're going to get 52 pieces of content from that one idea that I just came up with. 5 tips to, 5 tools to, 5 ways to, or how to create a TikTok in 5 ways. So just, I encourage you to put your business in there. How to create, you know, hand massage in 5 tips. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to start with that one video, 5 ways to. That then gets transcribed into a blog. That can then get changed into 3 to 5 quotes, and you can put that on Instagram, you can put that on Pinterest, and you can put that on Twitter if you're there. You then use those quotes and you change those into Facebook and Instagram stories. Then change those 5 tips into the videos. You can put them on TikTok and Instagram Reels. You can then take each tip and make a TikTok, expanding on each point. And then you can repost those into Instagram and Pinterest. So we've got one video that is 5 ways to, and all of these different things that you can make. You've got 52 pieces of content from that one idea. So this, right at the beginning, I said, you know, let's sit down and just stop trying to be so overwhelmed with creating content and having to come up with new ideas all the time. This is one idea and repurposing it into 52 different pieces of ideas, 52 pieces of content. So I've created a social media calendar. The way that I actually do this is I don't do it one by one by one by one. I do it based on what's going on in, you know, my clients' lives, what's going on in the lives of, I mean, it's International Women's Day today. I'd be doing something along those lines. And I've popped the little boxes next to it so I can tick it off so that I know that I've already done that content piece and I don't need to again. I find these really, really easy for me because, you know, if you're sitting down, you think, what do I do today? What's worked best? And then say, oh, cool, great. I'll just tick that idea off and I'll create that piece of content around that idea. So today we are brought to you by Business Station. I know quite a few of you, I had a look at the list before I got online, have already joined this amazing program, which is fantastic. I specialise in social media and e-commerce because that's what I do. And like I said, I practice what I preach. But if you haven't jumped on board with this already, it really is a fabulous federal funded grant, and it's not going to be available forever. So this year it does actually stop, we think. And you can get onto this for 7 hours worth of personalised business mentorship. So it's 3 hours of one-on-one talking to you and about your business, and then 4 hours of webinars and workshops. It's only $44. So usually we, as experts, get hired out for a lot more than that. Usually it's about $150 upwards per hour, but this you get 7 hours worth for $44. So Gail's saying absolutely fantastic program. Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Gail. Thank you very much for popping that information in there. Yeah, it really, really is a really fabulous program. Now, if you have other things that you need to know about that I'm not an expert in, I will not pretend to know. I will give you the expert that has the knowledge in that. If you've got a WordPress website, I won't touch it. I will give you to a WordPress expert and they will help you. I do Shopify and Wix, but we've just got such a great team around us that we can, you know, use to support you. You are eligible if you have an ABN in Queensland, WA, Northern Territory. We do have other facilities for the other states as well. Just get in touch with us. And in saying that, we do have facilities for non-for-profits as well. This particular program is for people who are in the process of making a profit or who want to make a profit and have fewer than 20 full-time staff members. So to have a look, you have a look at businessstation.link/register and jump in there and choose an advisor and build and grow your business. I'm just going to stop sharing. Cool. So thank you so much for coming in today. I'm just going to have a look and see who's here. Good to see you. Justine saying amazing content. So grateful. Let me open that up. Are the recorded webinars available to view at a later stage if we can't attend the live webinars as part of the 7? Yes, absolutely. Thank you for popping that information in there. Now, the recorded webinars, you do need to register for the webinars to get them sent to you, the recordings. So there's 4 hours of the workshops and the webinars. I do encourage you to be there live if you can, because then you can ask questions along the way. We've had Kelly and her asking a question along the way, which is fabulous, because then you can work on your own business while you're actually here. You can get that personalised advice. If you can't be there live, I totally understand. If you can't be there live, they are recorded and they are sent to you. I hope that answers that question, Justine. Fabulous. Okay, so if we, no problem. So if you don't have any more questions, I really, really wish you the best, best day today. I'm speaking at a women's event tonight, and I'll tell you a little secret, I'm quite nervous about it. So I'm going to be doing some little breathing techniques and meditations and stress management before I go there. So I wish you all the best in International Women's Day today. And I just, so grateful that we live in this beautiful country where we can share our voices as females and grow our own businesses, and very, very grateful. So happy International Women's Day and happy days to you, and I hope your day goes very, very well and your business is fabulous. Oh, thank you, Gail. You're gorgeous. All right, so I will I'll probably see you in another webinar soon. It's nice to see some people here that we do see quite regularly. And like I said, wish you all the best, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you, Justine. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.